every day. The town is full of predator, don't turn a little prey. I flip $1 million out of nothing, make them feel a certain way. Hoping that the switch.
What's good, y'all? Fist Vegas, the hardest voice in sports. Go ahead, hit that like button and subscribe to the Fist Schooner while you at it. Y'all know what time it is. If you ain't with it, you best get with it. Now let's rock. Listen, you know what? I don't care if you hit the sub button. I really don't. I'm not in the mood to be a YouTuber right now. If you hit the sub button, you do. If you don't, you don't. It ain't my problem. All right, let's get this Joe Judge video out the way. I'm frustrated because earlier in the day, around 6, 7 in the morning, I record my Joe Judge reaction, and I couldn't get through 7 minutes of it. Now, I'm recording the Joe Judge reaction. Normally his reactions are like 9-10 minutes. So I'm like 7 minutes into the reaction, and I cut the reaction short because I don't like my reactions to be but for so long. But at the end of the reaction I recorded, I said, how much longer is he gonna talk? And I skimmed through the video. He talks for like 20 minutes. And at the time, I'm not paying it no mind. I was upset because he got snippy with a reporter and said he wasn't going to talk about individual position groups when he had been raving about the offensive line for 5 minutes. Then they asked him a question about a safety. I don't know what the dumbass question was, but then he snapped on the reporter. I said, Joe Judge, I'm tired of you. I cut the reaction short. Come to find out, I cut the reaction, 4 minutes too short because he goes on an 11-minute tirade about keeping his job. I'm gonna get straight to the point. A lot of what he said was true, but Joe, you're not in position to say it. I don't look at the Giants as a laughing stock. I don't think the Giants are a bad organization. I just think the product that you, Joe Judge, are putting on the field absolutely stinks. I said it before when I was live streaming with my man Eli Rax. Shout out to Eli Rax. The Giants are a first-class organization. A lot of ex-players say the Giants are the best organization that they played for. A lot of that's true. Him throwing Pat Shurmur under the bus about the Golden Tate having golf clubs in front of his locker at the end of the season, that was wrong, Joe. Pat Shurmur's a better head coach than you were. You shouldn't have thrown him under the bus. Joe Judge, in my humble opinion, lost his job with that 11-minute rant. Joe, who cares about your culture? Who cares? All the laps don't work. All the F-bomb tirades we hear about in training camp, they don't work. You calling timeouts to give rah-rah speeches in the middle of the second or third quarter, and then we can't score in the last half of each half because we have no timeouts. It don't work. Joe, you're not smarter than anybody. Joe Judge thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, and he's not. We don't give a damn about your culture, Judge. We want results. If I come on my YouTube channel and say the Giants are not as bad of an organization as people say, that's fine. When I come on this YouTube channel and say, at least Kenny Galladay and Giants players aren't throwing Joe Judge to the bus, when I compliment you, Judge, that's one thing. You, after one of the most embarrassing performances I've ever seen in my life in -10 passing yards, can't come out into a presser and sit here and tell me everything's okay. It's asinine. It's laughable that this guy goes on an 11-minute rant about why he should keep his job after a -10-yard passing performance. You know what? I should probably still upload that original reaction. I got 7 minutes through his interview because he snapped on Jordan Ranning. He didn't want to hear stats. Like when Jordan Ranning talked about the stats, he didn't want to hear it. Now Joe Judge don't want to talk about stats. It's like, he's snapping at reporters. And I'm telling y'all, as I'm reacting to his press conference this morning, I'm like, bro, he's squirming. He looks nervous. He lost his confidence. Joe Judge looked bad in that whole presser, and I've only seen clips of his 11-minute rant. I've only seen clips. I'm tired of listening to Joe Judge. It killed me to get through the 8 minutes of the interview this morning that I was going to upload for y'all like I do every Monday. I react to Joe Judge's interview. They're normally like 8-9 minutes. This time it was 20. I said, bro, like, I'm not listening to 20 minutes of Joe Judge. I'm not doing it. But look, man, can we really bring this guy back? Are they going to run laps next season? Are they going to let him curse them out next season? All the bullshit that Joe Judge does during training camp, are they going to put up with it next season? He just had -10 pass yards. Can we accept that? I've been on the bandwagon saying I don't care if Joe Judge stays. I don't care if he goes. I can make an argument for him either way. Because let's call a spade, people. And you can SMD if you disagree. Because a lot of y'all hate Daniel Jones. But the truth of the matter is, if Daniel Jones don't get hurt, we're a 6 or 7 win team. That's just the facts. We're not losing to the Dolphins. We would have beat the Cowboys. And to be honest with you, Daniel Jones could beat the Bears. And Daniel Jones would have beat the Eagles too. We might have won 7 or 8 games if Daniel Jones stays healthy. Y'all don't want to hear it, but it's the truth. Joe Judge won 6 games last year through what? Halfway through the season, he already had 4 wins this year. So realistically speaking, if Joe Judge has Daniel Jones for the last 8 weeks of the season, I'm 99% sure he probably gets to at least 7 and 10, which is a 1-game improvement from where he was last year. So it's like I could make a case to keep Joe Judge, but on the same token, hey Joe, what about that game in Kansas City you cost us by burning too many timeouts in the first and the second half? Not using your timeouts good and giving Daniel Jones a chance to win a game. What about that? Hey Joe, what about you waiting till we play the Bears to force feed Saquon the ball? Saquon had his first 100-yard rushing game since 2019 because you finally committed to running the ball. Where was that energy when we played the Chargers, who had the worst run defense in the league, Joe? Where was it? Joe, all the times you punt the ball in field goal range. All the times you don't go for it on 4th down. What about those times, man? It's like I understand why Giants fans want to launch him out of here right along with Gettleman. And on the same token, I understand why we should keep Judge. I understand both sides, but an 11-minute rant, it's just not a good look, man. Saying we're not a clown show. Like, a lot of the stuff he said is true, but he's not in position to say it. You get what I'm saying? All right, look, I'm going to end the video on this note. I don't know how many of you guys watch basketball, right? But I'm a big basketball fan. And Marcus Smart called out Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown for not passing the ball. And they was playing too much ISO ball earlier in the year, right? Marcus Smart was right. But Marcus Smart can't say that because he's not good enough to say it. Judge, a lot of the things you said were right, but you're not doing your job good enough to get away with saying it. You feel me? So is this really that's really why I stand with it. I think he lost his job today or yesterday, whenever. I think he lost his job, man. I think that cost Joe his job because John Mara is very reactionary. John Mara goes wherever the wind blows. And now that people hate Joe Judge, he's probably going to fire him. Because John Mara don't like getting booed. John Mara has thin skin. He don't have a backbone. He'll do whatever it takes to get the fans to believe in him. So Joe Judge, man, cost himself his job with that, man. Obviously, I'm not in the mood. I'm cranky. I am. I still love y'all, though. That's it. That's all, though. Subscribe to the unit if you're rocking with me. My name is Fist Vegas, and I approve this message.